We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the New York Jets. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Here's Wilson to throw right away. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And they will score. Pick 6 for Bears touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now Hall to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This defense for the Bears, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Tackle on that play by Quinnen Williams.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On the draw, this is Barkley. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, but it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23. Multiple players combined for their team's first the game. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
This fielded right at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result. Because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. D. Ford in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now Wilson throwing on 3rd and long. And he's going to go down again. D. Ford drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 29-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff running through the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
on 2nd and 7. Fields. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Trying to find Barkley on the out route, and he's got it. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 63 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and goal, Fields. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. John Franklin Myers in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first-half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Wilson's throw here into the hands of Moore. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll run with Hall. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Ran it last time, now fields to throw.
He's going to have the hook up to Ross.
And he will have the Bears first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw there complete to Mooney.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is intercepted.
And the Jets will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Ready.
Now Wilson.
He's got the connection to Moore.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Wilson and Moore there for a Jets first.
Off the play fake. Wilson. Again, he finds Moore. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. D. Ford able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to get with the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
Running left, it's Barkley. And some room to roam now. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick.
No run back here for Jones. A touchback.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Well, Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
133 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
It's Barkley on the counter. And some room to work.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
14 yards in a Chicago first down. They'll go to Barkley again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? It looks like they're ready to go.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 27-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Barkley, inside handoff. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Another try for Barkley, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Off play action, Fields.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They go play action now. Wilson rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Targeting Moore, and he's got him on the crossing pattern.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Again, Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, Parker, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields.
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
John Franklin Myers able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Miller. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama.
And he is going to have a Jets first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Here's Wilson. On the right side, this is Miller.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
To throw is Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. Past the 20. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
And this one too low. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day.
And my goodness, another interception. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
But just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick six, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other. Every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick six?
And this will be a touch. Deciding not to bring it out.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Well, it's pretty rare that you see a ball game decided by this wide of a margin, and now it gets, Charles, even wider after that pick six. They've done everything right on that sideline.
I think we can safely say that not only is the scoreboard, right, the gap big there, now everyone's just looking for stat padding, right? Do I get a chance to make a big play? Can I get a takeaway? Can I go ahead and put the ball in the end zone? That's what these guys are all talking to each other about now with a lead this big.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and willful.
And my goodness, another interception.
Kyler Gordon picks it off.
And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, You're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Here's the option, running right. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a third down.
A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Now it's Fields.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright. And they're denied a chance at 3 points.
And now here is another interception.
Kyler Gordon picks it off.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he's got room. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th.
And my goodness, another interception. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And a very similar result again. The Jets defense once more stopping him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Room here to run. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now the point after try for Santos. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to let it go again. And now here is another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to get the football back at their own 17. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
And they take a knee. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for Chicago, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their woes continue as the record falls now to 1-10. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.